everybody. We're here with our weekly kickoff. I'm so excited with our new format. This is our second week. And so we have guests, Dena Zorzos and Julie Simpkins, that are going to be with us. And then we're going to be talking about our reset. So welcome, everyone. I hope this is going to be a shareable item that you're able to send out to your teams and everyone can get excited. We're also giving away a little prize. So I've got some bangles that I'm going to be sending out to someone that I'm really excited about. So one of you will win. I'm excited about that. So I want to get started just talking to Dena. So Dena is a gold newly gold brand ambassador with Plexus, but she has a beautiful story. So we're just going to interview her a little bit. So Dena, what got you started on the products? Would you tell us?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Thank you for the opportunity. In 2018, I was introduced to Plexus by our fearless leader, Sadie. After sitting in silence, maybe like some of you, reading all her posts, I reached out in hopes to prepare for my upcoming wedding. I wanted to look better, I wanted to feel better. But little did I know what a pivotal part of my life and wellness journey that Plexus would become later. I'll tell you a little bit about my story. At the young age of 31, I was diagnosed with a very rare liver autoimmune disease referred to as PBC, primary biliary cholangitis. At that time, I had only experienced very minimal symptoms, primarily itching. But the itching was so bad, it caused me to finally make a doctor's appointment. But it took me 3 doctors, maybe some of you can relate, 2 specialists, and eventually a liver biopsy to officially diagnose me. I was told, due to being diagnosed at a young age, there was probably a high probability that I would end up at some point with liver cirrhosis, possibly needing a liver transplant. But every person's different and the disease progresses differently within each person. So it was a wait and see. It was a waiting game at that point. The next 17 years, I was lucky. I took medication religiously 3 times a day. That medication assisted my bile duct in my liver, which is primarily what was broken. It was the biliary gland, but the bile duct in my liver to filter out the toxins. We know so much about how our products help filter toxins in our body, but that was broken within me. So I was scheduled for labs every 6 months to monitor my liver enzymes. And I had a wonderful hepatologist that I was blessed with, who was also my GI doctor. And he was very proactive in performing ultrasounds and scans of my liver to identify the damage or the scarring to the organ and any secondary issues that would be associated with the disease. Fast forward, April 2023, last year, I became more fatigued and I started to retain water all over my body, but primarily edema, which is known as edema, primarily in my feet and my legs. My doctor was straightforward with me. He basically, because he'd been monitoring my stages, he told me flat out that it was confirmed I had progressed to stage 4 cirrhosis at that point. It was time to start. It was a huge reality check because I knew there was potential, but I just never imagined at the age of 48 that I was thinking of liver transplant, organ failure. I did my due diligence. It was time to start researching transplant hospitals, and I chose a hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina, Atrium Health. And I was told at that time that I had to stop all supplements. I had been doing some holistic things in addition to Plexus. I was taking milk thistle, drinking dandelion tea, things related to the liver that would help, just anything I could holistic along with my supplements. I was reluctant to stop the supplements. However, when it was explained to me that I had to get worse, couldn't imagine how much more worse, but I had to get worse before I could get better, because once you're put on transplant list, you're actually graded on a scale, and there's something known as a MELD score, which stands for Model of End Stage Liver Disease. So my MELD score had to climb and get higher. That's why I had to get worse in order for me to get to the top of that transplant list. Whew. So essentially, that's exactly what happened. I stopped taking my supplements and I got worse. In November of 2023, I received a call from the transplant coordinator stating that there was a donor match and a liver had become available. Overwhelmed with emotions, we quickly packed our bags and headed to Charlotte. Hours later, I was informed I would not be receiving my new liver. I was devastated at first, but what a blessing in disguise this turned out to be. 5 weeks later, on December 23rd, I received a second call. I've been telling everyone I was going to receive a Christmas miracle. And indeed, the Lord provided me with a new healthy liver, which I received on Christmas Eve. Hallelujah. 3 months post transplant, I was cleared to start taking my Plexus supplements again. I'm quickly approaching that 1 year anniversary of my new lease on life. So, why Plexus? Why these supplements? Because I made a promise to God, my donor, and my husband that I would never take my health for granted again. So, thank you for allowing me to share that.
Okay, so I've heard this before, but I'm crying. So I think I cry every time. So something I'm gonna say really quickly about Dina that is that she always used to give Jesus a birthday party, right?
A
And
birthday party for baby
it,
Jesus.
yes, and so the fact that her liver came on Christmas Eve is so like no, there are no coincidences. There are no happy accidents. Like we know the Holy Spirit is always working. So woo! Anyway, love that. And thank you for sharing your beautiful story. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we got to know what is your favorite Texas product? What's your very favorite? I think I know what you're gonna say, but I don't know.
You know. So it's hard for me to pick just one, but I definitely think that Reset is my favorite product. And I know she knew this. One of the reasons why I love Reset is because after 3 months went by and I was cleared, of course, I was asking every month up until 3 months, can I start my Plexus products? Can I start now? I'm ready. When I was cleared, I wanted to do a reset. And I had kind of laughed and told Sadie multiple times in the past when I would take my supplements, I was not interested in the business. I had a lucrative professional career. Um, I just didn't have time, all the excuses. And this time, Sadie asked, when I decided that I was going to start taking my supplements again, I placed my first order. So, what's your excuse now? Why would you not share? And I said, you know what? I'm going to start with Reset, and I don't have any excuses. And I said, I'm going to just see. I'm going to ask 3 friends and see if I can get 3 friends to do Reset with me. Well, that was not a problem. In less than 1 week, I had 3 friends. And Reset to me is the quickest way to see results and start fresh. I've done a lot of celebrating with my new lease on life. And every time I need to reset, I go away on a trip or I'm having a celebration because I didn't know that I'd ever have them again. I find that Reset gets me back on track. It's my favorite. It's just definitely my favorite product to share with everybody.
I
And I
knew,
love doing it with people.
yeah, I knew you were gonna say that, and you're actually part of the second middle of this, but I'm not. I'm gonna stay on our my roadmap here, and I'm just gonna say, so if you had besides starting with Reset, if you had advice for anyone getting started on Plexus, what would it be?
Okay, so there's like 3 little tidbits. One, I'm going to say be consistent. Whatever you start with, whether it's triplex, whether you're starting just with the pink drink, whatever it is, be consistent. If you're going to make a commitment, you're worth it. Make a commitment to yourself and just be consistent. The next piece of advice I would say is show yourself grace, because on those days that maybe you do forget, you're human. So show yourself grace. And the other thing I would say is when you will, but when you finally realize you made the right decision, share. You might be reluctant to share. You might feel like you're not a salesperson. You might feel like you can't do it. But you know what? it doesn't necessarily have to start off the same way that you see everybody else sharing. Share with your best friend, maybe in a conversation in the car, in the mom line when you're waiting to pick up, or the can you tell I don't have kids, in the school pickup line, wherever it may be. I have four-legged fur babies, and beautiful godchildren. But share, and then once you feel comfortable sharing, share some more. So those are my three tidbits.
Okay. Well, I love that. You guys, she is obviously, if you're on our team, you've interacted with Dena and she's amazing.
Thank you.
I love you, my friend. You know what I feel about you. You know. And I just want to say this too. Dena could not come to our team retreat this weekend and she gifted her spot to someone with a financial need. And so I just want to say that that is the heart of this woman. She is a perfect match for our team and we love you. Thank you so much, my love. And I'm going to pivot right into sharing reset really quickly. I think we've got a lot of vets on here, but I think that what it was, Dena's story is a perfect segue because reset is an experience. Okay. Reset is an experience that we get to offer community right away. Whether you're doing your own reset groups, again, Dena, I love watching these. She does these. She gets everybody in text. She's allowed some of my folks to come in and she just does it all in text. Or, right now, Powerhouse is doing some that are organized. The company is doing some that are organized because they are, we have this free reset promotion. Okay. So, however you want that to look, just know that that is a community builder right away. It is a great way to start somebody off on a journey. It's a great way to help somebody through a plateau. And the thing is that we're giving it away for free. So this is not only are they going to get started on their triplex, you guys are posting, you're in your stories, you're informing about the good news of gut health. You are talking about how blood sugar, inflammation, and gut health are a big, big deal, right? Plexus is a big deal. But on top of that, we get to fold people into the community right away. If you're not familiar with why reset is so incredible, sometimes obviously I want to mention this. I did say this in our thread, but like women, make sure that you're not menstruating when we're suggesting that they start the reset. Make sure we're not leading right up to menstruation. If you're with people that aren't having that cycle, just they will know their body and just say, we want to make sure that cyclically you'll have just come out of your cycle or just not leading right up to it, right? We don't have to be super nitty gritty about it, but we just want them to have, but even if they're not seeing results on the scale, and I know that this is not the society we live in, we want to see that, we want to feel that, we want all those things, their body is doing good work, right? With leading up to that monthly cycle, and we do have all women on here, so we all know this. The body is working hard in that space as well, in the reproductive area. So, if we can avoid it, great. If not, maybe just let them decide. But ultimately, this is a mechanism that really is a clean out process. Okay. And yes, we can do this. People can do this without our reset, but do they? Will they? Likely they won't. It will feel hard. It will feel like they can't make it through the day. I love these people that say they do 72-hour water fast. Good for you. A lot of people don't have that mental toughness. This can be like a gateway drug, which is a poor term, but this could be the gateway to that, right? Like this can be teaching that process. And so when you're speaking about this, really helping people understand and leading with excitement, like you get this 3-day experience, whether we use it right away to kick you off, or we pick a time that's perfect for you. Do you have anything important coming up? Are you taking any vacations? Is anybody, getting married? Any type of a special, a special event, but helping them get excited, your tone and your excitement. That's why I feel like Dena, you are a perfect person to be speaking tonight, but because this was the subject matter. But and Mandy loves these. Oh my God! I mean, these two right here are like a power team for reset. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just love it, excited. but it's always about both. Like I just watch them both really share with vigor and lead with community, and we're going to do it. It's going to be okay. It's going to be exciting. But this is good cells eating bad cells. This is how we fight cancer naturally. This is how we turn over and reboot hormones naturally, right? At the cellular level. So get excited about it. I hope you guys are. We're giving it away all month. I love it. And so our next special guest, and she is going to finish us off, but this is maybe one of the most faithful people I know. And God has brought her into my life. She actually, we got connected right before my Diamond Doc again, I think. And it was just, she came to the house, she prayed over all of us. I was moved just beyond, I was feeling every feeling that day. Okay. Anyway, and then this beautiful prayer comes out of her effortlessly. And so I don't know what you're going to share tonight. I don't know what it's going to be. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but we're in good hands with you. So I'm going to introduce my beautiful friend, Julie. And I can't wait to hear what you have to share with us tonight.
Thanks, Sadie. Dena, it's so amazing to hear your story. And God's timing is perfect. And just to hear, I mean, I'm sure that day was so disappointing. And yet for it to come on the Christmas day when Jesus's birthday, we too do a Jesus birthday party. And so I love it. You know, through the years with my kids, and sometimes it's homemade and sometimes it's candles and little Debbie snack cakes and stuff. So it just, you know, you never know, but it is important. I've been with Plexus for 9 years. I'm a gold ambassador. My journey has not been what many of the people on your team is. Just a little background. There was a lot of times that I was disobedient to the calling that God had placed on my life when it came to Plexus, if I'm honest. And just was like, you know, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I was perfectly content. My husband works and provides, and and so I had Bible studies that I did. I was a mentor mom for MOPS, and the Lord just kept putting Plexus back into my life. And he made it very clear that this is part of the purpose that he has, that Plexus is the vehicle for the purpose that he has. And I wasn't really even planning to tell you guys that tonight. And that's what's so cool about the Holy Spirit, is that we can trust what that looks like. The coolest thing about a relationship with Jesus is that we can trust him. And we can trust him with our businesses, and we can trust him with our kids, and we can trust him with our life. You know, Dena, I know you shared you didn't have children, but you certainly had to trust the Lord with your own health journey and things like that. And so God uses Plexus for us to be able to teach the people in our lives that the Lord is worth trusting. And a little bit recently, I feel like that the Lord is saying, Julie, trust me with your Plexus business, trust me to bring the people that need these products, that need you to share with them, all of those things. And I share that because because I've been doing this 9 years, like I know what to do. And so sometimes I would get up in the morning and I would look through my messenger and I would respond back, and I would kind of just get into the groove of whatever we needed to do, and not pray and ask the Lord, what do you need me to do? And my niece went on a mission trip over the summer to Turkey, and they went out that first day and they came back all feeling very convicted that they didn't pray and ask the Lord to show them what street to go down to, what street to pray, to pray. They felt the Lord leading them to pray for somebody, to pray healing over somebody. And as they walked down the street, this lady came out of her door and was going to the doctor's office. And so they were able to pray healing over this woman there in Turkey. And what that kind of taught me is that I need to actively be praying more when I start my week for my Plexus business, when I start my day, when I start my and I need to do more trusting in God and laying it at his feet than doing it on my own strength, if that makes sense. And God equips us with amazing gifts and talents and abilities. And he has asked you specifically, to trust him and to do the things that you have been asked to do by him. And so some of the things that I love this book, it's called For a Purpose. And I can read one. I don't know what our timing is. I know you like to keep it short, and I don't want to take that time. But what I do want you guys to walk away with is the desire, when you start to work your business, that you pray first, that you pray that the Lord would show you who you need to reach out to, that the Lord would show you who you need to follow up with, that the Lord would show you who you need to love on in community. Because when we trust God with our business, everything falls into place. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to be diamond. That may or may not be what God has for us. But when we are in his will and we are operating, trusting him with our businesses, then we know that we are a success because we have done everything that he has asked of us to do that day. And sometimes we let the circumstances of, oh, well, that person didn't sign up as a VIP, or this person's ghosting me, or things like that. And we let the circumstances of this journey drag us down. And that's what the enemy wants. But God wants us to trust him and to be able to shine for him and to show people who God has created us to be. The other book I really love, and I know Jody even put a lot of these books in the boards as far as like reading, but I really love Kyle and Cassie Rainey's devotional called Holy Unrest. So if you guys don't have Kyle and Cassie's devotional, like, I love it. I can't, I started, the Lord laid it on my heart to start a prayer call at 8:45 a.m. Central Time with just anybody from Plexus that wants to come. Any of you are more than welcome. Even if you can't make it on the call, we have a prayer chat that people share songs and people share devotions and people share different things that the Lord has laid in their path. We had, just one girl lost her mom this past week, and we were able to love her well, and just different things like that. And so God is just working in a group of people. And that's my prayer for you guys, is that when you turn over your business to him and watch him work, that you are just in awe of what he does. Oh, thanks, Jody.
Okay, Julie, would you, so we talked privately, that Holy Unrest, I think they're familiar with, but that Called for Purpose.
Tony Evans.
Yeah. Is it, what's the format of that book? Because I do feel like, I do feel like if we could just get a little bit of a touch of a flavor of it, just to kick us into the week, I think that everybody would really love that.
Okay.
I don't know the format of it though. If it's longer,
No, it's not that long. It's literally like a page, and I had one picked out, and all of a sudden it went away. And so I will do this created for significance that I was going to share. Back with my group. Okay, so Psalms 139:14. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. All of us struggle with unique issues or challenges in our lives, but one of the dominating issues that plague many of us today is a lack of fulfillment. Jesus tells us in John 10:10, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. An abundant life is not void or empty. It is a life that is meant to be lived. It's a full and satisfying. It's filled with meaning. The nagging inner emptiness that many people feel today reveals a lack of personal fulfillment. People often feel unfulfilled in their relationships, their careers, their spiritual lives, and in other ways. A lack of fulfillment is tied to lack of destiny. If you don't know your destiny, or you're not working toward it or living it out, you will not feel fulfilled. You will not be able to tap into the most authentic genuine part of who you are. Anytime you have to rely on artificial happiness, energy, enthusiasm, passion, vision, and so on, you're not tapping into the rawest part of you. Nothing can replace you being the way you were created to be. Nothing can measure up to true, authentic living according to your very own unique destiny. Everything else may satisfy for a moment or at the surface level, but it will not satisfy you deeply and abundantly with your very core, where true fulfillment lives. Jesus offers you abundant life, but to have that life, you need to connect with the eternal purpose he has for you. In him and his will, you discover your true and lasting fulfillment. A person never truly should be satisfied with what the world deems as success, because success can never bring you significance. Fulfilling your destiny answers your deep God-given need for significance. Live your destiny and you will live a life of great significance. And I said, Lord, help me to live my destiny. And it says, thank you, God, that you made me on purpose for a purpose. Thank you that I'm not a random happening or chance occurrence. You've created me for a life of significance. And so let me just pray over us. Father God, I thank you for each and every person on this call and those that will be viewing it later. Lord, may we learn to trust you more and more every day with our businesses, with our families, with our health, with the people that you've placed in our life. Lord, may we continue to grow closer to you. May we be able to come before you and just know that you have a plan and a purpose for each one of us, that our life is one of significance, and that those that we meet, they too have a life of significance. And sometimes you're going to use us to help them to see their life of significance. And so, God, I just pray for each one of us this week, that you would bring the people. And Lord, as we practice thankfulness, as Thanksgiving's right around the corner, I thank you for Sadie and this way she leads her team and the beautiful people that you have placed on her team that have meant so much to me. I just ask, Lord, that you would just give them an extra special blessing this week. And as we go forward, Lord, I just pray that you're in it in all things. In Jesus' name, amen.
I don't know how better we could have kicked off the week than that. That was absolutely beautiful. Julie, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
You actually were the winner of our gift. So that was perfect. And I'll get to see you on our walk this week. So I'm excited.
That sounds great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Everyone, I'm going to stop recording.